Welcome, one and all. Come in, have a seat, get comfortable, relax, and welcome to Free Mind Thinkers. I'm your man, Big Brother Tucker, and I have quite a bit to talk about today. I want to start off with something that enraged me before I went to bed last night. Have any of y'all seen this commercial? When I saw it, I honestly could not believe what I was looking at. I was watching the basketball game, and one of the commercials that came on during that game was a commercial by the Human Rights Campaign and Warner Media. It's called Let Us Play. It is the story of transgender youth who just want to play sports. Before I go into that, let me give you the overall topic of what I'm about to discuss, what I am about to say, because it is very poignant and, as a father of three, very important to me. Why in the blue hell do these people want to push gender identification and sexual context on our children so fervently? They are intensely pushing their agenda of sexuality on children, not young adults, and in most cases, not even later teenagers. We are talking about children, kindergarten through whatever. You know, the bill that Florida passed about not teaching gender politics, gender identification to children from, I think it's K through third grades. I do believe that's it. I understand why that bill had to get passed. As I look around, I am seeing more and more and more of the LGBTQ community push their agenda on children. Children that are barely able or just learning how to write, say their names, identify shapes and colors. Why in the fuck do you find it so important to try to teach these same people, these same individuals, these children about identification, how they are? Do you feel like a girl? Do you feel like a boy? What in the hell is wrong with y'all? There is something deep down inside you that you need children to validate what you are and what's going on in your world. Let kids be kids. Or, in the famous words of Helen Lovejoy off The Simpsons,
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
y'all don't care about kids being kids. Y'all are using kids to promote agendas. What is wrong with you? What happened to kids learning how not to eat glue? Don't put dirt in that girl's hair. Now y'all want transgender children. I want somebody, anybody out there, to show me a transgender kid. Not a tween, not a teenager. Show me a transgender kid. We're going to start right there. That's for all of you people, all of you assholes that have issues with what's going on and the bill that got passed in Florida. This is why. You go to the Human Rights Campaign website and you see it clear as day. Human Rights Campaign and Warner Media released Let Us Play video, the story of transgender youth who just want to play sports. That is disturbing. I'm looking at these kids that are no older than 12 years old. What does a 12-year-old know about transgender? Tell me. And the commercial itself, the video, super disturbing.
3, 4, 5. I play. To be with my friends.
To make new friends.
To have fun.
Because I love it.
I play. To try something new.
To push myself.
To be part of a team.
Team on 3. Ready?
I play. To belong. I play. To have fun. Transgender kids want to play too.
Let us play.
Now here is what they say, quoting it directly from their website. Trans kids are kids and should be able to play with their friends. Let's stop right there. Get rid of the word trans. Kids are kids. Let them play. Let them live. Let them figure things out. Don't push how you feel on them. Let them figure themselves out. To all the parents out there, do you remember the moment your child would fall and hit their head or hit their knee or something like that? And they would sit there, look at you, and not make a sound. They wouldn't cry, they wouldn't laugh, they wouldn't do anything. They're waiting on your reaction to know, am I hurt? Am I okay? Is everything good? I have personally raised 3 daughters. And I learned by the end of that first one, when they fall, if they're not freaking out, don't you freak out. Because the children will be a direct reflection of the parent. If they fail and I started laughing, if they fail and I start laughing, then they would start laughing. If they really hurt themselves, they're going to cry instantly. Don't worry about that. But my goofy ass kids, half the time when they fail, they start laughing. The only time they would get to boo-hooing and crying is if I would seem upset, if their grandmother would seem upset, if their mother would seem upset. Then all of a sudden they go from I'm okay to because they're reading it from us. Let them figure it out. Continuing on with the quote. For the last 2 years, transgender young people have been the target of discrimination for having the audacity to play a game that they love. Again, let's flag on the play. Show me these children that are being targeted by discrimination for trying to play the game. Show me these kids. Show them to me. I want to see these kids, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, that are they are concocting an issue that does not exist. And that is frightening. That is so frightening. I'll continue on. We are proud to announce this powerful campaign in collaboration with Warner Media. Yeah, you better get on in while they're good, because Warner Media going through some things, and don't be surprised they push your ass aside too. In a collaboration with Warner Media to bring the stories of transgender youth to the forefront to call their inclusion in sports and remind us why so many Americans play sports in the first place. We hope that as people see this video, they will see themselves and the children in their lives reflected in the humanity of these kids. Let me sum up that quote. Bullshit. There you go. I summed up that entire quote. It's absolute and utter bullshit. There aren't kids being discriminated against like that. Are you serious? 5th graders that are transgender. Are you serious right now? I'm using 5th graders as the example because they're saying children and youth. In the commercial, you saw small children. You weren't looking at, sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school in these videos. These were kids, preteens. I know what they're doing. One of the things that they're trying to do with this whole campaign right here. One of the things that they're trying to do is lay the groundwork. Now, let me stop before I say that part. What they are trying to do is make Leah Thomas, that's her, him. That's Shim, that's she, him, that's Shim. Leah Thomas, they are trying to make her the trailblazer. She started it all for us while simultaneously laying the foundation that'll make it easier for everyone else to come after her to be accepted and make it okay. Well, let me tell you, partner, it ain't okay. It ain't okay. Because being born a male, you by genetics, I will say this again, by the genetics, are going to be more physically enhanced than a woman. Your bone structure is going to be different. Your muscle mass is going to be different. That is period. That is science. You know, the science that they keep wanting everyone else to follow. This is the science. So for a transgender man to hop inside a woman's arena in sports, yes, he will be more physically dominant in all sports where physical domination or physicality is dominant. Basketball, swimming, golf. Not so much golf, but now it's still golf because as a man, bigger, stronger, he can hit that ball further. Tennis. You cannot put a man, a person born a male in female context because I guarantee you won't see that shit the other way around. You won't see a woman, a female, born a female, become a man and run her ass up there and play football. You won't see her get into the jump to the UFC men's side because once she gets on the field, in the cage, in the octagon, you're going to immediately see, oh God, that's a much bigger individual. I mean, that's a much smaller individual. That transgender person will look and go, oh, what was I thinking? These are giants. These are titans out here. I don't want to exclude them from playing any sport. But I believe they should have their own league. That's, to me, that is a fair compromise. You're built a man but want to be a woman? Okay, then we're going to put you in your own league. That way we don't have to worry about you going up against naturally born biological women where you were going to be easily dominant. So see, that's the whole thing is they're trying to make Leah Thompson some trailblazing leader and lay the foundation to make everything easier for everyone else to come afterwards. That's what they're really doing. No. Let me take that back. Hold on. That's one of the things that they're doing. The other thing that they're doing is in the indoctrination of the children. In the indoctrinating of the children, they're really trying to reform, reshape, and by all intents and purposes, control our culture and society. If you don't believe me, there is an article. It can be found in the Holocaust Encyclopedia when they talk about how and why Hitler indoctrinated the youth. And he did it because he knew the youth was the way to get to the future and maintain a stronghold. From the Holocaust Encyclopedia, the section called Indoctrinating the Youth, I'm going to read directly. These boys and girls enter our organizations at 10 years of age and often for the first time get a little fresh air. After 4 years of the young folk, they go on to the Hitler Youth, where we have them for another 4 years. And even if they are still not complete National Socialists, they go to labor service and are smoothed out there for another 6 months, 7 months. And whatever class consciousness or social status might be still left, the Wehrmacht, German armed forces, will take care of that. Adolf Hitler, 1938. He laid the groundwork over time on how to make the youth yours. The article then goes on into its findings. And it says, from the 1920s onwards, the Nazi Party targeted German youth as a special audience for its propaganda messages. Now, let me stop right there. What I'm going to do is, wherever I see Nazi Party, I'm going to replace it with LGBT. Wherever I see German youth, I'm going to say American youth. And where I see things like Third Reich, I'm going to use, let's say, school system, society. And I'm going with those replacements now. Wherever I see Nazi or Nazism, I'm going to replace it with LGBTQ. Wherever I see German youth, I am going to replace it with American youth. And if I see things like Third Reich, I'll replace it with society or public schools, okay? And I want with just those three changes, you tell me now if they don't follow Hitler's playbook. You know, these people that call everybody else fascist and say we're bad as Hitler, these people, I'm going to read it. Let me just read it. The LGBTQ targeted American youth as a special audience for its propaganda messages. These messages emphasized that the LGBTQ was a movement of youth, dynamic, resilient, forward-looking, and hopeful. Am I wrong anywhere yet? Then it goes down to education in the Nazi state. Education in the school system served to indoctrinate students with socialist worldviews. The LGBTQ regime purged the public school system of teachers deemed to be politically unreliable. That's it. I quit. All I did was replace words. Same play. It's like if you ever played a sport, ever played football, they may have a different name for the route, but every football team, every basketball team, they all run the same plays. They just have different names. This is the same playbook, just different names. And people are trying to be so woke, so agreeable, showing that they're so down and, oh, it's okay, that they don't see you're losing your children. That's going to do it for this segment of Free Mind Thinkers. If you like what you heard, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to hear more of it, go ahead, hit the subscribe while you're at it. And please feel free to comment on anything that you hear. And as we always say here at Free Mind Thinkers, listen less, learn more. Don't forget that you can find us on all your social media platforms: Getter, Gab, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute. And we are podcasts on several media platforms. Make sure you check out full episodes there in the podcast section or wherever you may get your favorite podcasts. Until the next time, y'all stay up.